It's something drivers haven't seen in weeks. Gas prices falling at the pump. We ask the experts whether President Biden's plan to lower prices will help drivers and look into just what is E15 gas.
One of the reasons that he's doing that is to try to reduce oil consumption. And so it'll be interesting to see how much of an impact that has.
Plus, if you're using your credit card to help pay for the rising costs of just about everything, you're not alone. We look at the growing number of people dealing with mounting credit card debt and the best ways to handle it.
It is how people are going to be buying food in the next generation. And we wanted to make sure that local food producers weren't left behind in that.
And fighting inflation while supporting local farmers. The service working to make it happen. Team coverage on paying the price of inflation starts now on Good evening, I'm Larry Smith.
And I'm Nancy Cox. New numbers released today show that inflation has hit a high not seen since the Ronald Reagan administration, and Kentuckians are paying the price.
Tonight, LEX 18's Rachel Richardson shows us what leaders are doing to help bring gas prices down. And as inflation makes everyday goods more expensive than ever, LEX 18's Ricky Sayers shows us what you can do to avoid getting into too much debt.
We'll get to those stories in just a minute, but first, we're in a break between the storms, it seems, as we prepare for more potentially severe storms tomorrow.
We'll be saying strap in and hang on. This time tomorrow, I think storm tracker meteorologist Seth Phillips is tracking it all for us, and he has that now. Seth.
Yeah, if you've ever seen the gif of the cat that's hanging onto the pole and the wind's blowing it, yeah, that's tomorrow. But today, no, not the case. It's been cloudy, it's been warm, but it certainly has not been showery. Now, that being said, a few light spots of drizzle have certainly been across the area, but really that was earlier in the day. Now today, the rest of the day, it's just been a lot of cloud coverage and warm temperatures. What we do have left as far as any activity goes, kind of between Wolf and now getting into a little bit of McGoffin County, and then just the eastern edge of Harlan. And that's the only spots that are actually showing up on the max track or later on this afternoon, and that will continue maybe for a few more hours before they're all said and done. But these temperatures are impressive. We're about 10 degrees above, even 15 from our normal for this time of the year. But same thing from this time yesterday. Yesterday, we were at our normal. Today, we're well above. And it's all because of the wind out of the south. It's been coming in 10, 15 miles per hour sustained, just bringing in that warm air. But it's also bringing in that moisture. And so that's setting the stage for what's to come throughout the course of the day tomorrow. First, the winds will pick up, and then eventually the showers will get here. They'll be here throughout the morning tomorrow, and then throughout the afternoon. One more small break before that last line of showers and thunderstorms arrive. It'll bring in some heavy rain, some strong wind gusts, and maybe a few more threats like flash flooding. Of course, we'll talk about all of that. We'll talk about timing, what to expect, and then what's to come after. All of that in your full forecast.
Thank you, Seth. You may have noticed gas prices dropping a few cents in the last couple of days. Well, local AAA says national and state prices have dropped about 8 cents recently.
Now, President Biden is looking to allow more E15 gas. That's a gas with 15% ethanol, and he hopes that will lower prices at the pump. LEX 18's Rachel Richardson speaks with one gas station owner.
Over the last few months, gas prices have fallen around 8 cents. That brings the new state average to $3.84. A week ago, prices in the state were $3.92. A month ago, $4.04. And a year ago, just $2.70. You can see how those prices stack up against national averages. This gas station's owner says her margins are low.
My margin hasn't gotten any better. It's a very small margin.
Almost a month ago, Debbie Morris told me that she made around 10 cents for every gallon of gas. That's still true today, down from the 20 cent per gallon she'd make before this spike. Now she says she pays about $2,000 more for 1,500 gallons of gas. But she's actually seen more customers at the pumps. She thinks people aren't filling up.
It's a great thing because now they come in, and then a lot of people don't know, oh, you have a restaurant here, so it does help me in that aspect.
As people at the pumps continue to look for gas prices to go down, AAA talks a little bit more about what President Biden's gas push will mean.
When you increase the ethanol blend, increase the amount of ethanol in gas, that we would surmise would decrease the amount of oil that's being used.
It's too soon to tell if 15% ethanol gas will save people more. AAA leaders believe President Biden's goal is to reduce oil consumption. Debbie says having her general store and restaurant has helped her business. She's avoiding raising her prices at all cost.
It's hard when it's so expensive to start off with, and I don't want to do that because that's part of what I want to be, is that neighborhood store.
Paying attention to the pumps in Lexington, Rachel Richardson, LEX 18 News.
It's important to note that the 15% ethanol gasoline is only for vehicles from model year 2001 or later. E15 cannot be used for motorcycles or off-road vehicles. Well, we want to know what you have to say about this issue. In our viewer poll today, we're asking, do you think President Biden's plan to lower gas prices will help drivers save money? So far, we have more than 130 votes. 85% of you say yes, 15% say no, or actually, correction, 85% say no, 15% say yes. We have the final results tonight at 7 on Evening Edition. Sorry about that confusion. Well, as inflation increases the price of just about everything, consumer debt is rising with it. From the February data from the Federal Reserve shows Americans added the most monthly consumer debt in over a decade. LEX 18's Ricky Sayer spoke with a local financial advisor to find out the simple step you can take to avoid higher amounts of debt.
Rob Campbell is feeling the pinch of inflation.
It's kind of a mess.
He's had to go deeper than he'd like into credit card debt.
Nothing's getting any cheaper, so I mean, it's arms getting shorter and pockets can get deeper.
Campbell isn't alone. The Federal Reserve is out with new data. It shows that consumer debt was up $42 billion in February. Revolving debt was up 20%. That includes things like credit cards, the biggest increase in over a decade.
It's a real problem in our country, and we're trying to be in a position to help provide some really solid solutions.
Former UK basketball star Jeff Shepard is a financial advisor with the Family Wealth Group. He said this is all happening because Americans have been spoiled in recent years between extra funds from the government and low interest rates.
For a lot of people, that got out of control.
He said many Americans simply haven't adjusted their spending habits as the price of things like gas and food increase, taking on more debt instead. It comes down to making a plan.
I don't think people do that. People just kind of live for the day, bring home what they can, and then kind of deal with the consequences as they show up.
His suggestion to you?
Your expenses, write down where your income's coming from.
Maybe you can no longer afford that prime rib and have to go to sirloin.
Just please sit down with somebody and put together a plan.
Everybody needs to be more self-aware of their limit on what they can spend and what they cannot.
Some basic accounting that could make a world of a difference. In Lexington, Ricky Sayer, LEX 18 News.
As prices rise at the grocery store, many people might turn to locally grown food, but that can be tough in the off-season when farmers markets are often closed. LEX 18's Evelyn Schultz introduces us to a possible solution for farmers and shoppers in central Kentucky.
Working on Hollow Oak Farm involves a little dirt, a few seedlings, and a lot of hard work. This is where Julie Muth spends her days planting broccoli, lettuce, and carrots, all sustainably grown without pesticides.
I would shop at our local grocery stores and there wasn't a lot of organic options, so I started growing it myself.
Muth's journey to full-time farming began a few years ago when she quit her job as an interior designer. Burnt out from the constant commute to Lexington, she wanted a gig that kept her closer to home in Harrison County.
At the same time, my husband and I were really wanting to eat healthier, so we dug into, where our food comes from. I noticed how fragile our food system was, and this was even pre-COVID.
3 years later, Muth raises chickens, cows, and even taps trees for maple syrup. While she waits for in-person farmers markets to open back up this spring, she's also using a service called Wagon. Think of it as an online farmers market. They deliver products from 56 vendors directly to homes in 14 counties across central Kentucky.
It is how people are going to be buying food in the next generation. And we wanted to make sure that local food producers weren't left behind in that.
CEO Nick Carter says e-commerce is the future of grocery shopping, with benefits for both farmers and consumers.
What we bring to any farmer who is trying to crack into the market is just access to a customer base who's highly engaged, very interested in knowing where their dollars are being spent.
Muth agrees, and she hopes it's a trend that takes root in the bluegrass.
Once people saw that crack in the food system, people were sort of forced to find food by their local farmer.
Farmers like her who are leading the way to more sustainable shopping. In Harrison County, Evelyn Schultz, LEX 18 News.
For more information about how Market Wagon works, head to our website, lex18.com.